thirsty track in the great outback, 2,000 miles from here. A transport driver stood alone and lingered with his beer. He chatted with the pretty lass who worked behind the bar, a leathery old-time fighting man respected near and far. He was a diamond in the rough with heart of solid gold, and on her hand the wedding band was only 3 weeks old. His mighty diesel stood outside, a giant of a rig, a fully loaded interstate, the biggest of the big. He killed a man, they say, one time in a Navy title fight. Took to the booze, went to the pack from that fatal night. She straightened him out and he made a vow that as long as he drew a breath, he never again would raise those hands that caused that young lad's death. 3 motorcycle louts roared up, the kind we all detest. God only knows what they were doing so far in the west. The greasy, grubby, unwashed kind who suit the city's best, the kind we should eradicate like any other pest. They recognised the transport man and fortified with beer. They said, let's go and rough him up, no one to stop us here. The odds are right, they're 3 to 1, so let us go and see if he is anywhere as tough as he's made out to be. They swaggered to the table where now the driver sat, and one long-haired unmentionable thing sat down upon his hat. Another scoffed his sausage and the third one ate his chips. Then they took his beer and drank it and stood back with hands on hips. An angry look came on his face, a puzzled kind of frown. He looked them over one by one, he looked them up and down. And then the scars and wrinkles on his battered, rough old dial kind of puckered for a moment, then they turned into a smile. He slowly rose in silence and went quietly to the till. He winked at her and gently squeezed her hand and paid his bill. And as he turned to go outside, they saw him smiling still. To anyone with half a brain, that smile would bring a chill. They laughed till tears came in their eyes, they doubled up with glee. They slapped themselves upon their thighs, this greasy-looking 3. Ho, ho, they cried, did you see that? He went to water fast. He's just a has-been with a reputation from the past. The waitress gave a little smile and watching out the door, she saw the mighty diesel rig get rolling with a roar. The building shook and diesel smoke and red dust in a cloud billowed o'er the tiny township as the trio cried aloud. He's just a mug, that old-time pug, he's yellow through and through. He chickened out, we knew he would, just like they always do. He's not so rough and he's not so tough, and he's a coward too. We always gets the best of it when we puts on a blue. The waitress tossed her pretty head and glancing out the door. Can't even drive a truck, she said. She cocked an old 12-bore. Why, as he backed his diesel up and swung to turn around, he knocked 3 motorcycles flat and squashed them on the